give it some more, getting out of my way. I was hiding, bulletproof, forever waiting. Then came you. I thought I was what I've been told. I thought I was.
So a couple of years ago, I bought a house in the country. My boyfriend has moved in since then. I've become a mom since then. And slowly but surely, this house is starting to feel more like home. This property is a few acres and it is a lot of work. It has been a lot of work. We still have a lot of work to do. This is what the backyard looked like when I first moved into this home.
When a mountain moving revelation came marching in, I thought I was what I've been told. I thought I was. I thought I was what I've been told. I thought I was.
What are you doing?
So we had a couple of goals with deciding to landscape. One of them being, just in general, we needed to clean up the mess that was already here. The amount of stories I could go into from the previous owner of this house, it just wasn't kept. It wasn't taken care of very well. Another part of it is wanting to make a loving and nature-filled safe space for our son to grow up, but also any future kids we might have to grow up in. Ryan has got a crazy green thumb, like way more of a green thumb than I do. My green thumb has grown since moving here, but I would say that he's got like a natural ability with plants. It's crazy. One of the first things I liked about Ryan the first time I ever went over to his house, and he had so many plants. They're all here now actually, but that was the first thing I noticed about his house. His mom had beautiful gardens and we wanted to create some of that here. So we really wanted to create a garden. We really wanted to be able to grow some of our own food. We wanted a greenhouse. It's taken us a little longer than we thought, but Ryan literally scratched this out on a piece of paper and then built it.
Come, I love my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright.
That still blows my brain just because that's such a different skill set and strength that I just don't have. He kept explaining to me to trust the process. And specifically when we were getting rid of, there was a whole bunch of trees here and they were kind of like weedy trees. This is also where we differ. He was very much of the notion of like, you want good trees, you don't want bad trees. I'm very much of the notion of all trees are good trees. So it's good to have someone like Ryan to be doing these projects with, because if it was up to me, I just have like an overflexed muscle of compassion for all things, including trees. So we started with a full demo, like front yard, backyard. We found some treasures along the way.
Stick with me, maybe. I love you so.
Our driveway, let's start there, was wild. The amount of times delivery people would get stuck in the driveway, specifically in the winter. I already know that since we've done the driveway, the delivery people that have to come bring anything to our house are definitely so happy we did this. So the front is kind of just like, we're just gonna leave it where it is for now. Back in April, he invited his friends over and they all took out all of the trees that we needed taken out for where we're putting the garage and where we're starting a path that's gonna go around the whole property. So we've gotten the first leg of the path done. Another thing we had to do, this is another wild challenge and a little bit of a story time from the person that lived here before. I always call it wrong. I always want to call it purging, and it's not. It's purging. Purging? Purging. You see the like cement here at the bottom of the house? Well, that wasn't there before. So it used to just be styrofoam, and it was all eaten and like chewed down along the edges here, and that's how bugs were getting in the house. So Ryan and his friend / the guy he works with literally dug a trench around our whole house And then he got a guy here to come, and I always say it wrong, Purge. Anyway, he put all that cement all the way around. So that got done. That's one of those things that's like, you know, it's definitely not the aesthetic fun side of. Another like random thing that we got done that wasn't on the house before was this house had no eaves troughs. So all of the decks that used to be here, there used to be a deck here and then one at the front, and then the big deck at the front of the house, the big white deck. They were all just like totaled from rain and snow because all of it was dripping from the roof and just going straight down onto the ground. So Ryan had a guy, he seems to have a guy for everything, that came and did all of the eaves troughs on our house. And then we're putting the rain barrels off of the greenhouse so that we can collect the water there and use that water for the garden. So we will be harvesting rainwater, which is really cool. We tried doing it off the house. It's just that the amount of rainwater that was coming down, it was just overflowing and then filling this whole area up. So that didn't work as much as we thought it was going to. Technically, if you want to count Frostys, which has a little bit of a backstory too, Frostys is over there, but that is kind of just our dump zone right now from all of the work we've done so far. So it's not looking so nice right now, but Frostys is more of a winter hut. We started with Frostys in the wintertime, and Ryan actually made this really cool like winter wonderland landscape all the way down through a bunch of twinkling Christmas lights and such. And Ryan and his dad built what we call Frostys. And it originally started with his parents. They built one during the pandemic. They built a little Frostys hut in their backyard so that they had a place outside where they could hang out. Ryan wanted to build one here, and so we did in the winter. And we had a little Christmas party in it, and it was, honestly, it'll probably go down as like one of the happier Christmas moments or memories. This is Frostys now, and that's our fire pit. That's all of the stuff that there's some logs there. We're gonna strip those down and use those for outdoor logs and firewood. You can see all of the junk here. This is stuff we need to get rid of or burn down. This is our fire pit that's got a bunch of boxes in it right now. And then inside Frostys, we have a bunch of pillows. We have some benches you can sit on and like blankets and lights. It's a really fun spot, but for right now, it's kind of just like our dumping zone until fall, when we'll get rid of all of those piles you see. Eventually, we want the path to go all the way back to the very end of our property, all the way around, and then come through and go back through the front. Right now, our current focus is on the greenhouse and the garden. The fact that like I just can't even how.
Puddles in the pavement, yet I don't know which way to go.
I purchased these bad boys, these Chase lounges, after we did the rock patio. Popped them out here with a nice umbrella. I also just planted these two. These are hydrangea bushes. So eventually they're gonna get nice and big, and the rocks will lead to, we're gonna build a little patio underneath there and have another spot where we can have a big dining table that Ryan already has. We just gotta go pick it up from his cottage and then put a barbecue back here. Now, speaking of the rock patio, this all used to be those rocks that were piled over in this corner. Again, I'll show a clip going backwards so that you can visualize what I'm talking about. So we harvested all of those rocks and created this rock patio. Some extra rocks were used to create this little garden. Anyway, I've done a lot of talking and explaining, and there's a big giant gray cloud coming in. Jump till tomorrow and I'll give you a full walk around of everything so far.
Yeah, you make me see with eyes so clear.
So now I'm gonna give you a tour. Ryan's nice new toy. This is what he bought himself for selling his house. So this all used to be forest where I'm standing. This is where back in April, Ryan and a bunch of his buddies and his dad took down a lot of the dead trees, but also a few that, like I said, I thought were nice trees, but he was like, they're weed trees. This is eventually gonna be a different garage. This is the beginning of our nature path. You can see it starts right here. You're gonna be able to drive this thing up and down it. The nice thing about having so much time is once we're done all of the main work over the years, I'll eventually make this path really pretty with flowers and plants and such, but for now, doesn't need to be. It's just dirt. Okay, coming up to the side of the house. So this is the new garden, and then you come around and this is what you see. So I guess let's start down here. So this is the greenhouse that Ryan built. All of the windows are windows that he's collected from people that were just getting rid of them. So these are all reused windows. The only thing left to do is to put the siding on, but let's go inside. It's a little bit of a mess right now because we're trying to organize everything and we just put the dirt leading all the way around. So we're gonna plant some things going around and then we're gonna make the rock path come all of the way through and up here. And then this is the rock patio now. So this was just weeds before. This is the garden that Ryan has built around, or I guess connected to the greenhouse. Again, there will be the rock path coming up and then we just have to do the gate. So you come through and this is what we have so far. And these are all the cedar that used to be on the ceiling of the bedroom. So when we renovated, we took all of the cedar out of the bedroom and Ryan built all of these. And the other thing Ryan's gonna build, clearly this is his skill set, right? He's also gonna build a picnic table that's gonna go in the middle here. And you can see we have these 2 poles going up. They're gonna have the string lights going all of the way across and the picnic table will be here. Those 4 little planter beds will be moved. Those are all of the plants that back in May I planted with my friend Maria when she came to visit.
Wasn't fair. It's over now, so don't despair. The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay.
We've got some cucumber plants, some radish, some lettuce, some kale. We might not get much of a harvest, if anything, from all of these because we've waited so long to plant them, but the whole project has just taken us a lot longer than we anticipated, and we're doing it on top of house renovations, on top of working, and with a baby. So it's been a lot. Coming back out, let me show you the greenhouse. So next on the list of Ryan's great achievements is this hydroponic system. He made this back in the end of winter. He basically saw someone do it, became obsessed with the idea, and then bought all of the tubing and made it himself. You just take one of these and you put, there's like a specific type of wool. Again, I'm not the expert here. And you just put a seed in it. You don't need any soil and you pop it in and then this self-waters. And all of the holes that you see would be filled with one of these little things and you can grow different types of lettuce, spring mix, things like that. These used to be in the yoga room and they are now gonna be in here. We haven't organized them yet. Over here, we just have a couple plants, just this shelving with a bunch of our materials, some bird feeders. And yeah, this is the stuff I was talking about. That's like the wool that you put the seed in. Me having none of the terminology. This is just a grow light. We've got a hose in here. We've got some soil. All of our seeds are down there at the bottom. These lights and all of the lights are solar paneled as well. So at night, I'll give you guys a night shot, but all of the lights turn on up here and it looks so beautiful. And then these are just our bird feeder and our deer feed, which we haven't been putting out because it's summer, but come fall time, we'll start putting back out again.
It's like the day that you jump into the wind.
Rock patio. So obviously there's still a lot of work to be done. The log that you're seeing there, we're actually gonna put that all of the way around, creating a little garden bed around the garden itself, a garden for the garden. So we have tons of logs from the trees, again, that we cleared. We're reusing them all for either firewood or for the gardens all over the house, including the front of the house, which we haven't even touched yet. I went and grabbed these lights. They were on sale because it's the end of summer. So if anybody needs any gardening stuff, now's the time to get it because it's all like half price. We also need to weed. We have a couple like butterfly plants and long grass as well. Those are perennials, so they'll come back. And we put the one fire pit here. It's full of water from the rain, but we just figured this is like an easy small fire pit if we just want to roast s'mores like the 3 of us. But we also have the big fire pit over on the other side of the garden for when we're having bigger parties. So the rock patio turned out beautiful. Like this looks like it was always like this. Chairs are not normally situated like this. We just had family over, so that's why they're here. And this is my favorite place to sit now. So I love to just sit here at the end of the day. If I can get Easton down before the sunset, I come out here and I just breathe, honestly. I'll journal. Ryan and I have come out here and just chat and hung out and watched the sun. We replanted some of our plants, and same with these bushes too. They were from the front yard, and instead of getting rid of them, we replanted them over here. So that's the main changes. Like a lot of the changes have been in the back. I would say the greenhouse and this garden have been the biggest things that we got completed this year. So I'm just looking forward to planting next spring season. It'll give me something to look forward to and hold on to as we make our way through winter, which is coming in a lot faster than I'd really like to admit. Only downside to fall is after it comes winter, and winter here is like 6 months long. So that's what we've gotten done so far. There's so much to do, and I'm assuming next year I'll do an updated garden vlog probably in the springtime, and it makes the most sense to show you guys then when we actually get to planting everything and everything is complete. But that's the work we've done so far. And I was originally going to hold off until everything was finished, but I also just feel like, and the same with the house renovations, this is to us like our forever home, at least for the foreseeable future. I just keep waiting until everything is finished. I'll never show you because it'll be 10 years long of another project being added to the mix. Lately, I've really been embracing this concept of not needing everything to be perfect right away. There's just no need to stress about it or to like rush things when you know that it's where you want to be for a long time. Like enjoy the process, you know? And it's nice because it just feels more like our own. I can't wait next year to get all of those garden beds fully filled. The romanticized idea of coming out here, grabbing some lettuce, tomato, and cucumber and making a salad from scratch, or like adding it to a sandwich, or grabbing some fresh herbs, and just, you know, that meme of like skipping the midlife crisis and going straight to granny mode. I relate. So thank you guys for coming on this little garden tour. It's nice to be back. This is going to be my first vlog back, and then I've got lots of content coming over the next few weeks. So thanks for hanging out in my corner of the internet, and I will talk to you guys very soon.
There's a
Bye.
million